I often see new players report that they're struggling to defeat the NPC boss, Heretic Ol Chopper, even after multiple attempts. If you'd like an example of how to beat him, keep watching this video. Okay, those of you who have watched some of my other content know that I like to jump right to answering the question at hand without beating around the bush any more than it's absolutely necessary. So I'm going to start off with demonstrations of how you can beat this wanker, first in melee and then in ranged. But there's another section of the video after that called builds, and for those of you who are new to Albion, I encourage you to check it out, or just watch the whole thing. There's a lot of info there that will help new players to understand the weapons and armor skills that you saw me use and why I use them. So here we go. Whoops, I almost forgot to eat my goat stew for a slight damage buff. This is a key concept. All of the little things add up to make a serious difference. Okay, we're off. I open up with a rending strike to get him bleeding. I want him to be taking damage even when I'm running away and can't hit him. I follow that immediately with a W to reduce his defenses so everything else I do will deal more damage. Now this is super important. Everyone knows you should avoid the attacks that he projects on the ground, right? But not everyone realizes that you can do this by running straight through him. Can't stop me, and I don't take any damage. Now while his back is turned, we get another stack of the bleed going, and again, once we get 3 stacks to maximize the effect, I hit him with the Blood Bandit. The E is often the most effective of your weapon skills with the longest cooldown. Here I hit him for 324 damage. But wait, there's more! The way this skill works, if I hit him a second time, I'll get some healing out of it. That's 307 health points back to me. Thank you kindly, sir. Dodge his overhand chop, and he follows up with this big smash. So again, we run right through him to get out of the way. Quick, keep that bleed going. Now here comes the whirlwind, but you can see it coming, right? Immediately turn and hit my defensive buff. Then there goes my F skill on the sprint. Okay, let's get that debuff on him again. And even though he's only got the 1 stack of the bleed, I apparently decided to hit him with the E skill a second time. So there's 313 damage, and I immediately hit him again for 172. This heals me for 225. Notice that at this point my health is down to about 2/3, and he's down to about 20%. Now I run around him to try to dodge his auto attack, which doesn't ever work, but I'm also getting myself more room to run away when the next whirlwind comes. Then I hit him with the D to try and slow him down, but that has no noticeable effect, so it's time to scream like a little girl and run away. Check this out though, his whirlwind only lasts a few seconds whether he murders me or not. And even though my F skill is still on cooldown, I was far enough away from him when he started the whirlwind that he couldn't reach me in time to do much damage. Okay, bleed him again. Make with the defense debuff. Watch out for the smash. That's the 3rd stack of bleeding on him. I let loose with the Blood Bandit. Down he goes. Oh, by the way, did I mention that my axe skill was only level 2 during all this? Same with the torch in my offhand. Now, for full disclosure, I think he beat me down the first time or two that I tried this. Here you can see the silver that the game spawned to help me pay for repairs last time. In my defense, my bow skills were like level 2, and my leather armor skills were around level 25, and I had never used a bow before I started making this video earlier that same evening. Point of all that is that if I can do it under these circumstances, you can do it too if you don't give up. Alright, step 1. Get close enough to click him, but stay as far back as you possibly can. We want to maximize the amount of time we have to feather him while he charges at us. Now make with the W and E buffs and let fly. Here comes the overhand smash. I'll just step forward a bit here, like that. The smaller axe smash is next. No thanks, I'll interrupt that with the Q. Now here I'm trying to refresh the buffs, but I'm a little too quick and I gotta be patient. Big smash is inbound, but I guess there'll be a whirlwind after that, so let me put some distance between him and me. Now I can finally refresh my buffs. I was wrong about the whirlwind this time. He only whirlwinds once he gets below a certain HP threshold, and he ain't there yet. Avoid the smash and let's give him the business. Okay, out of business. Business closed. Time to get out of here. I pop my healing potion and run for the hills. Apparently I'm posing for the camera as I run. Not sure what's up with that. Now here comes another overhead smash, and I hit my jets when it's already too late because his whirlwind is over. I might be regretting burning that cooldown soon. Okay, a little bit of playing tag, and it's time to refresh the buffs again. Here comes the big smash. Let me see if I can preemptively slow him down with the D. Nope, I can't even aim apparently. He's whirlwinding again. Lucky for me, I was far enough away from it when it started. This is like an episode of Banshee where we beat each other to a pulp while we're still going. I hit my defensive buff here to try and last a little bit longer as I run bravely away. Big ol' overhead smash is coming again. You just do that and I'll hang out over here and shoot you a little, or a lot, or a whole lot. Making hay while the sun shines and all that. Oh man, whirlwind again? I hit the jets like Justin Jefferson and he ain't gonna catch me. Okay, poorly aimed attempt to queue him up and now it's time to run again. But now I just have to plant 1 or 2 more death seeds and watch him die. And the reward is, what, 2,000 silver? Don't you have some stairs that could just fall down or something? Okay, so what's the takeaway here? With the ranged method, you have to keep your distance to buy yourself time to bust him up. Be alert for his next move before it comes and save your F skill for when you really need it. Make sure you take advantage of everything you can do and don't give up. You'll get it. Now, since my channel is all about helping out folks who are new to the game, I did these 2 demonstrations using only the most basic of equipment. In the melee demonstration and the ranged demonstration that you just watched, I'm wearing normal quality tier 3 leather. It's nice and balanced between offense and defense. And it's the same kind of stuff that new players might be wearing. You can do this in plate armor, but it might take you a little bit longer. You won't deal as much damage, but you won't take as much damage. And you could do this in cloth, and it might go quicker for you, because you'll deal a lot more damage, but you'll also have to watch your health a lot more closely. In Albion Online, it really pays to understand what skills are available to you based on the weapons and armor you're using. Your weapon always provides your Q, W, and E skills. Your armor, jacket, or robe always provides your R skill. Your headwear gives you the D skill, and your footwear provides the F. You can open the gear's details to choose which skills you want to equip. Different types of gear have different abilities, so keep this in mind when you're choosing your equipment. Now for this melee section, I used a T3 battle axe with Rending Strike. This causes the target to bleed, taking damage over time, and you can apply that effect up to 3 times. In my W slot, I used Deadly Chop, which deals a large amount of damage and reduces your target's defenses for 8 seconds, so you can do more damage if you time it right. Now in the E slot, a tier 3 battle axe has only one option, which is Blood Bandit. This is a ranged attack that deals direct damage, but it's meant for use in combination with your Q skill. If you have applied more than 1 stack of Rending Bleed to the target, you get bonus damage from Blood Bandit. For example, if they have no stacks at all, the attack does base damage, but if they have 3 stacks, it's closer to 150% of the base damage. The self-heal effect also gets stronger if the target you hit with it has more stacks of the Rending Bleed. My R skill here gives me a defense buff, so enemies do less damage to me and they'll actually suffer a portion of their own damage reflected back to them. My D skill is the only skill in this build that will interrupt enemy abilities. It also slows both their movement and their normal attack speed, albeit briefly. In the case of Heretic Ol Chopper, his most dangerous move, which is the Whirlwind, can't be interrupted, but you're going to see me try it a few times anyway. Lastly, the F skill is very important here. Since the Whirlwind can't be interrupted, you need to be able to haul ass on a moment's notice and stay well away from him when he goes nutso like that. Alright, now for the ranged method. I have the same normal quality tier 3 leather armor, cape, and everything as before, but instead of an axe, I'm using a regular old bow. The bow is great for accelerating to a ludicrous speed of attacks within just a second or two, but it takes cojones to stand there and shoot while the boss is sprinting after you. Here again, I do have some minor healing potions, and I was carrying some goat stew, but I've already eaten it. However, the buff lasts for 30 minutes, and it's still in effect here. So for my Q, I have the multi-shot here, which knocks enemies back a tiny bit, but what the tooltip doesn't tell you is that when you send them flying, it interrupts anything they're trying to do. Well, anything that can be interrupted anyway. My W is actually not ideal for this fight, it just adds a small amount of explosion damage in a small area around my next 10 attacks. The area effect is completely useless since there's only one enemy here in the boss fight, but I guess at least the extra 40 damage times 10 adds up to an extra 400 damage, right? Something. The buff here from the E skill is, unsurprisingly, the really good thing here. With every auto attack, each of my arrows is released faster and hits harder than the previous one. Do not underestimate the effectiveness of those stacks. As before, the R ability gives me a defense buff so enemies do less damage and actually get some of the damage reflected back at them. The D slows their movement and attack speeds and also would interrupt anything that can be interrupted. And the F skill, well, that puts the F in GTFO. Thanks for watching. Check out my other Albion Online FAQ videos with simple answers to your burning questions like these.